Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. This will be our last one for 2018. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development. Going to take a look at the late pick 4 at Santa Anita, which includes the Grade 1 American Oaks, which is just a fantastic betting race, Jim. And this pick 4 is really tricky, but, well, the American Oaks itself is too. So it's going to be interesting when we build our tickets, what you ended up doing, because I had to make kind of an unusual move. But anyway, let's go to the Grade 1 American Oaks. 3-year-old fillies going 1.25 miles on the turf. They've moved this to the end of the year and get some nice fields as they did here. Where did you land on in the Oaks?
Well, with two maiden claimers, I'm sure this is not the same handicapping exercise as the pick 4 is going to be. This one's tough because...
By the way, before we continue, we should mention we both hit the pick 4 last week. So if folks were listening, hopefully they cashed.
And if you cashed and bet on Keeneland Select, you would have gotten a piece of that $25,000 hit and split points. So if you play this one on Keeneland Select, you'll get that this time too. So hopefully we'll get out some winners. So in the American Oaks, I went with California Gold Rush, the outside horse from Neil Drysdale, lightly raced, only 4 lifetime starts, which is sometimes a negative for a 3-year-old filly at the end of the year. But this horse is 3 for 4 lifetime. 2 for 2 at Santa Anita. Went to Belmont. What impressed me is that she went to Belmont and won the Sands Point on a yielding turf course she had never been on before. That tells me she's got some serious talent, and I think that this spot fits her well. Flavian Pratt rides her, which is always a plus on the turf course, and might her well after those 2 mile and 8 races the last 2 times out. But she's not I don't think she's a single in here. I think you got to use some other horses when you go deep in the pick 4. Now, Colonia, the French horse, coming out of the Valley View at Keeneland last year, a huge rally into the stretch and won that by half a length over a couple of good horses. Got beat by California Sands Point, but back on a firm course might be the equal of Sands Point and improving as well for Grand Motion. The 4-horse Amandine actually ran on the 26th, so she's obviously going to scratch out of this spot. She won pretty easily on the 26th, but she'll scratch out here. Here the 5 for Kenny McPeak off a Mr. Zervere win at Churchill on a yielding turf course, and paved with Michael McCarthy. He had a really bad race in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, but before that, it's 2 for 5 at Santa Anita has always been in the money. So even if you don't win her, place her to win, she's going to probably get in the money here. So going to go a little deep in the pick 4, but my pick is California Gold Rush, the 9-horse for Neil Drysdale.
I'm going to Colonia, the 2. Love that race at Keeneland. It was a slow pace, and she really exploded to get up and win. And Grand Motion seems to me over the years, I don't have any stats in front of me, but it just seems like he has some good luck when he ships across country for these end of year spots. This horse has worked really well off the win at Keeneland, and it looks like maybe that she took her game to another level. Motion recognized it, picked out this spot, and has pointed her for it. I like that Bravo's coming all the way across the country to keep the mount on this horse, and I'm going to take Colonia here. I like her a lot in this spot. Paved, California Gold Rush, Princess Warrior, Competition of Ideas coming in for Chad Brown. Those are others I would use with her. I'm going to key off Colonia within this race. And if Amandine would somehow run back, every once in a while you'll see them make that Woody Stevens type move to run back. I would throw her in there just because she was so impressive on Wednesday. But like you, I would expect as we tape this early, she will be scratching. So Colonia for me in the Grade 1 American Oaks. All right, Jim, now let's take a look at this late pick 4, and it starts in the 7th race with a maiden claimer. Then you've got the American Oaks. Then you've got a starter allowance, and both of those on either side of the Oaks are for 2-year-olds. And then it finishes up with a 50K maiden claimer down the hill on the turf course for fillies and mares 3 and up. So this is a tough sequence in this pick 4. Tell me how you're building your ticket.
Well, I'm going to single the first leg, believe it or not. This maiden claimer, it's a crapshoot, and I think you either go deep or you take a stand. And I'm going to take a stand. I love Violence 2-year-olds, and Violent Behavior obviously is not the best one out of that class. Only $18,000 purchase, but he actually ran really well last time out. Got beat by half a length at this level at Del Mar. Has run at Santa Anita and finished second here at this level back in November. So I'm going to say that that Violent Behavior is going to beat this very weak field I just got to take a stand somewhere, so I'm going to take a stand with that one. So I'm going to single the 11, and then I'm going to go 4 deep in each of the last 3 legs. So we already talked about the American Oak, so I'm going to go 2, 5, 6, 9 there with Colonia, Princess Warrior, Paved, and California Gold Rush. Ninth race, I'm going to go 4 deep there again. This one's wide open as well. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 4, 6. Top pick is probably Damiano for Mick Ruiz, coming off that maiden win, pretty impressive win at Del Mar. Only 2 starts and has a lot of room to improve. These other horses have run a little bit more. Mayan Warrior, the 2 horse, Running with Scissors, the 4, and I belong to Becky, the 6 horse, who's dropping out of an optional claimer and probably ought to fit here better. So 1, 2, 4, 6, and then I'm going to use 4 horses in the last maiden claimer. You can go as deep as you want to here. It's maybe not quite as tough. I was able to narrow it down a little bit with some horses that have good experience and dropping out of maiden special weights. Storming Ladies a 3, and then the outside horses, Weather Market the 9, Strength in Numbers the 10, and Madaket Sunset the 11 for Phil D'Amato. So my pick 4 ticket is 11 with 2, 5, 6, 9 with 1, 2, 4, 6 with 3, 9, 10, 11 for a cool $32.
Well, I ended up doing something similar in that I'm just going to pick a spot to take a stand, and I'm actually going to do it in the American Oaks with Colonia. I kind of figured if like you were talking about in the 7th race, if I don't take her, then I take a bunch of them. So I'm going to single her. I'm going to start out with 5 horses, 3 of them on the outside, the 10, 11, and 12. Don't really have a strong win opinion. Maybe Red Rock Trail, the 10, Sadler Rosario team. But I'm also going to use the 8 Samurai Jack because you get Pratt, and Shaken Fries, the 4, because you get Drayden Van Dyke. So just off connections, going to go 4, 8, 10, 11, 12. Then single Colonia, the 2. Then in the starter allowance, I think the winner's one of these 4, but I just don't know which one. Mac Winnin, the 7, would be my win pick, but I like the 1 Damiano, the 2 Mayan Warrior. Ran well versus winners. I thought that was a good angle for this spot. And then Oracle of Omaha, the 8. So 1, 2, 7, and 8. And then in the last leg, I'm going to go 6 of them. Storming Lady, second off a layoff. Breezing Bee, cutting back from a mile. Those milers often do well on this hillside turf course. So 3 and 7. Strength in Numbers, the 10. Madaket Sunset, the 11. Etching is the 6 horse, also coming out of mile races. Turf debut, but has a turf pedigree. And then Balladera, the 2. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. So for me, it's 5 by 1 by 4 by 6 for a $60 ticket for 50 cents. And I need to get Colonia home, and you need to get Violent Behavior home. And we could both end up winning this thing if we can get our 2 singles. So hopefully we'll do that 2 weeks in a row and finish up the 2018 wagering year very strong. Good luck with your wagers, whether you're playing Santa Anita, Gulfstream, Fairgrounds, Turfway, wherever else you're looking. And if you can't get to your local simulcast facility, make sure to have your funds in your Keeneland Select account while you're watching bowl games and basketball games. You can also play the races. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. Happy New Year, everybody, from the In the Money podcast.